see when it...
It is a hot day in the garden today. You might want to have one of these. Oh, that's better.
Well, welcome back to another installment of The Naked Truth About Religion. Now, you'll remember that the last time we saw you, the Reverend explained to us about...
The who?
The Reverend.
That would be me.
You told us about Leviticus and why men do not lie with other men, but then we got distracted by the beautiful cactus bloom, so we didn't get around to why women shouldn't lie with women, because it doesn't actually say that in the Bible, does it?
Well, as far as I know, it doesn't say anything about women loving other women, or no, it doesn't even say love. It's just lying with. So no, it doesn't say anything. And I would suspect, that I suspect that it doesn't matter. I suspect it doesn't matter.
Well, I'll just tell you what my takeaway from it was, that because it's all about the womb and seed going into a womb, so if men can't put their seed into anything but a womb, and although it doesn't talk about the women lying with women, I think it's implied that because they just have two wombs, no seeds going anywhere, just by default, that's a bad thing.
Yeah. For the ancients, there's no seed in women to go anywhere.
No,
it only comes from man. They don't have anything.
I got that.
Eggs aren't known.
So if we're so the naked truth, why are we choosing to use rhubarb leaves this morning?
Oh, well, you keep the sun off you, but how do you start this?
I don't know.
Well,
You're the expert.
There's this thing called naked. That's right. I have to remember I'm smart. I'm the smartest one in the row here.
Yes.
And
thank you, Ghostbusters. Yes.
Yeah. Naked is something that was invented.
Okay.
All right. Before there was anything called science or psychology, the first science or psychology was really religious myth and legends. So stories were created, and every ethnic group, every tribe, every level of civilization has created fantastic mythic stories to explain why we are the way we are, why we look the way we are, why we do the things that we do. And the Garden of Eden stories are brilliant in that area.
Just while we're on the garden, we'd like to just show you we are in our garden. So these are a little pano of the garden and where we are broadcasting this fabulous show from. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I'm sorry, my lord.
Yeah. No. Well, let's think about that Garden of Eden story. There's lots of depictions of it in art, and if we've been to Sunday school or in older age, if we've been to church, we know this story, but the deep side of it usually escapes us. Adam and Eve are in the garden, so like, I'm Adam, you're Madam Adam, and if you get mad, you're Madam Adam. Yeah, it's like Rob Loblaw's blog or something. Anyway, so the two of them are in the garden, and on this particular day, it wasn't the cool of the day in the garden, like it's not the cool of the day yet here either. It's boiling. Well, Adam and Eve are in the garden, and they invent 2 or 3 things that day that never existed before. And because of the first humans, everything they do is brand new, it seems. It's the first time for everything. So what they invent is, they invent a thing called trouble, and they invent a thing called naked. Let's talk about those two. Yeah, so one day they're in the garden, and it's idyllic. It's paradise, paradisum. And God had told them, look, you can eat anything in the garden, anything. And so Adam and Madam Adam were vegetarians, vegan. They were even vegan. So there you go. You vegan people. The first humans were you. So they tool around the garden and they're eating things, and God had told them something that it was really stuck in their mind. God had said to them, all right, you can eat absolutely everything in the garden, which is just a euphemism for saying you can eat the planet. Eat the planet. And when you do it, you're going to eat everything to show or to feel how good I am, says God. So it's like communion, Eucharist. If you eat anything on the planet, you do it for the purpose of knowing how good I am. Don't you find that interesting? I do.
Well,
so anyway, but
I'm just
you don't have
listening
anything to say
with
though.
intent.
Yeah.
Yes, because I'm the pagan here.
Yeah,
I'm learning.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So back to the intelligence on this side of the garden.
Okay.
So we have.
Says the Lord to the botanist.
So they're in the garden, and God had said to them, "All right, there's a tree in the middle, and it's called the tree of the knowledge of good and evil." And you think, well, if we eat from that, we'll know everything. Well, that's exactly right. So God said, don't eat from that one, because if you do, you'll know everything. But what they mean by that is, how do you get to that from good and evil? Well, it doesn't just mean the knowledge of what's good and what's evil. It means all good that way till infinity and all evil this way to infinity. So it means the totality of all knowledge in the universe. You'll know everything. In other words, you'll know as much as God and you'll be God. Or where it's a competing God. So they think, oh well, and that's kind of rumbling around in their minds. And one day, as we saw this morning when we walked along the bean row, a garter snake went slithering up. Well, this is exactly what happened in the garden. The snake comes along, the serpent, and well, as happened in the garden, animals talked. I don't know. This snake did, and it said to the woman, how's it going? What's up? Sup? What are you eating? Everything except the tree in the middle of the garden. Well, why can't you eat that tree? There's pretty good fruit on it. I've had some. And he says, well, God said we can eat anything we want, but in fact, he said you better. He commanded, but we can't eat any of the fruit from that one tree. And the snake says, come on, you think you? I mean, God knows as well as you do if you really think about it. But I don't know that you know anything about logic yet. If you eat from that tree, you're going to know everything. You'll be like God and should get out.
No, this is really in the Bible.
Yeah,
for true.
It's a talking snake.
No, but because I don't have your knowledge, you're
true.
not just telling a story. This is actually in the Bible.
This is
New Testament or Old Testament?
So help me God. It's the Old
Okay.
Well, it's a terrible thing to call it. Let's say it's the older, more ancient witness.
Okay, I just
or
wanted to
story
clarify that you're
that's
not just
testament.
pulling my leg. This is a real true story.
Adam gets into leg pulling later, and then they have a couple kids.
Oh, okay.
Right? We're not leg pulling yet because we don't know how that works yet.
Okay. Well, we'll get there. You carry on about this.
Now you just put something in my mind, just like the serpent put something in
I know.
Eve's mind. I'm trying to think, well, how can leg pulling end up producing more of us?
Well,
Oh, jeepers.
you're getting off on, you're seeing a
Getting
squirrel.
off. Yeah, there's a term. Getting off.
You're seeing a squirrel. Now stop that.
Oh, and I think my leaf is wilting.
Okay, well.
Yikes, I better get with it. So, the snake says, you're smarter than that. So, innocence is bliss. But she eventually succumbs. She takes some fruit. And then she doesn't eat it. She gives it to Adam. Gives it to the man. And he takes a bite. Because he's a guy. He's, and right to leave it to Beaver. June gives the food to Ward. And so he does the eating. So he takes a bite, and as soon as he takes a bite, suddenly, instead of being completely God-conscious, he ends up being self-conscious. He kind of unfolds from knowing the cosmic knowledge of the universe. Boom! Tree of knowledge of good and evil consumed. That includes being self-conscious.
And that's how naked was developed.
And then he goes, yikes. And then he grabs the rhubarb. Well, I don't know what it was. Some people say it's a fig leaf. Who knows? He grabs a leaf. And then two things are invented right away.
Fashion?
Excellent. He invents fashion. And gives one to the woman, says, hey, try this on.
Well,
And I really respect you as a dresser.
I know that. I know
this
you
ensemble is really quite appropriate. You're the prettiest one in your row.
I look good in green.
You look good in green. You do. Yeah, very good. Okay.
So, we've discovered that naked is because Adam ate an apple and he shouldn't have.
Some kind of fruit, yeah.
Well, right. I clarified that in our last episode. It's a fruit.
I think a mango would be better.
Well, that was like Middle Eastern, upper Middle Eastern, so it could be pomegranate, avocado, I don't know. Anyway, I think today this is a wrap. But we always enjoy your comments, and if there's anything you would like to know.
There's way more.
Well, there is, and we'll wait for another blistering hot day and hope the rhubarb is still out, and we will come back. And you all have a wonderful day and take care. God bless. Isn't that? Now I'm saying that. God bless.
Keep your clothes on.